Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to Let's
Uh,
Talk About It. My guest, Dorian from the Source channel, has been talking away, and we realized we were not live yet. So here we
yeah.
are. But now I don't see your channel connected.
Oh, I linked it. I linked it. I did.
Okay.
It's in my upcoming. So let me see if it's going live too.
Okay. I'm so sorry, everybody, for these technical difficulties. Let's
Yeah, we
see.
had it earlier with StreamYard. Yeah, we're good. We're up on my channel
Okay.
too.
Okay, good. Okay. All right.
Be up
Let me
too.
get it pulled up on my phone, and hopefully, we are going to be smooth sailing from here on out.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. This is the old one, and this is that's the old one. This is the new one. No, hmm. Delete that one. There we go.
Yeah, mine's working.
No, there we go.
All right.
Computer
Well,
has been removed.
Deb's. You see your comments are working here, and
Yes,
Deb's
yes,
here.
and it's paired, so that's great. Okay.
There it is.
So I'm just having YouTube issues. It's not letting me, not wanting to let me pull it up right, but that's okay. We will get through it. I can still see the chat on mine, so we're
Yeah.
okay. All
Cool.
right. I just like to be able to have it on my phone too in case I want to make somebody a mod or kick
Right.
somebody out or something like that. It makes it easier to do it on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now it says live. Okay, now I'm happy.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Yay! Okay. So,
Yay!
yay!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Even with
Wait.
technical difficulties, we will get it together. So, okay. So we were talking about your channel kind of blowing up. You're at
Yeah.
1,500 subscribers. You are
Right.
working on getting watch hours.
Yep.
Um, I know the way that I did it, I got my watch hours first and then got
Mhm.
had to get my subscribers and then my
Right.
watch hours fell off and I had to go back and get more watch hours.
Wow.
So it's best if you can get that all, working at the
Straight
same
now.
time.
Yeah.
Um, but the main thing is getting people to actually watch through if it's a video or if it's a live stream or whatever. And, you know, some people have the YouTube premium where they don't have to watch the ads and they can just
Right.
put it on their television and
Mhm.
just let it play. Hello, it's Marvella.
Yep. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome.
What's up?
So I know that a lot of people do it. I have a couple of different devices that I can use and I'll run different people's stuff. I
Yeah.
try to definitely do it on a more, not so much like I only watch a couple people, but like if I go to your channel to watch a video, I'll
Yeah.
look and I'll see, oh, there's two or three videos I haven't seen of yours, and I'll go ahead and pop them in my watch later, and then
Yeah.
I'll play them. So
Mm.
I don't think very many people are utilizing that watch later um, option, but I
Right.
do know it's good if you have a playlist that you know is just easy for people to just take and watch that one playlist or whatever. But you can only watch it so many times for you to get credit for it. So,
Mhm.
and that's the thing too, you got to have
Right.
multiple accounts watching multiple times so that it, will add up or whatever.
Right. Right.
Have you thought about doing any of the silent lives that some people are doing for
Oh
watch
yeah,
hours?
I've noticed that a little bit. I think Chris the Flash. I've been watching what he's doing. Kind of just like at night, he'll be playing video games with his buddy, and he'll just leave it on, and
Mhm.
then at night he goes to sleep or whatever, and he leaves it on. I don't know. I mean, it's worth a try. I don't
Well,
know.
I only did it one or two times way
Yeah.
back when, and it was around Christmas time.
Mm.
And my viewers were like, why are you live in the middle of the night? First
Yeah.
question I kept getting. And then, where are you? Why are you not chatting with us? If you're going to be
Yeah.
live, you should be there, you know. And I was
Right.
like,
Right.
okay, this is too much trouble because I was
Oh,
trying to sleep, but I kept
right.
waking up to check the chat to see if
Just
anybody
be
was
that.
in there. And then
Oh
I
no.
felt bad when I saw these comments that people saying, you know, why
Yeah.
aren't you in here? Why aren't you talking? And I was
Right.
like, for me, it just didn't work, you
Right.
know, as far as
Yeah.
that goes. Now,
Yeah.
Elisa from Stitching It Up, she's doing, but I think what she's doing is she's like pre-recorded stuff that she's
Yes.
playing, and she
Mm.
does pop in and out of it throughout the time that it's live, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess that's still a
Reese.
good way. People can go in and drop their links and connect to other
Yeah.
people, you know.
Yeah, I might do some of that restream stuff. Like I've been thinking about it for a while. I think the Source Network TV, I'm gonna want to have our daily schedule flowing throughout the day. I'm gonna want to have our weekly schedule flowing throughout the day and the week. And then I also want to do intro teasers. So like you'll see Echo either in a video or a live, you'll see like a little bit of her doing her thing, and then it'll put a link on the screen if I can do that that says now watch the full video or go on over to her live. Like I want to
Yeah.
have these teasers that I can then go to you and then to Nemo and Sharita and surviving together and just kind of flow between each other's content and then give little teasers and say, yeah, they're on our schedule. Check, tune in to Echo and these days and these times. And I want to do some of that stuff and let that play throughout the day.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll
Yeah.
be popping into the chat throughout the day. Like I did no problem. Like I'll say hi
Yeah.
to people, connect and everything. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
it's definitely
so
hard to get
connect.
the quantity of watch hours that they require to get to that 3,000 where you can get the start getting super chats and
Right.
memberships and things like that. It seemed to me that once I locked that in, then it was easier to get from the 3,000 to the 4,000 than it
Sure.
was when you're just looking at that daunting amount going
Same with
all the
the
way up to the 4,000, you know.
same with subs. And we've got Rio for Life Kim D here, and we've got Tommy Kenyon. So aloha, welcome y'all.
Yes.
But yeah, once you get to
Hello.
like 500 subs was a big like accelerator, and everything flew to towards 1,000 for me. And I think 1,000 has been a huge accelerator upwards. So yeah, I'm definitely growing by the day. Like the subs are trickling in by the day pretty consistently now, and just I feel like I've networked to a bunch of different communities, and I like you say I'm doing things like a 30-day video challenge right now. I've got the 5 questions with the source running every Saturday show with guests, and so I've kind of like got myself and my channel like over into these different communities and then talk to the town a little bit with the 30-day challenge and then when you have guests on like this you're reaching their community and their followership and then you just keep building
Right.
and
And
growing.
and that's the thing. Hi Star, welcome. Um,
Oh,
that's the thing that so many people tend to want to stay in their, in the community they're in, which is
yeah.
all fine and good. But
Mhm.
everybody that is watching you is also watching everybody else in that same community.
Right.
So, if it's, we'll just say the homesteader community, for instance, most of those people are friends because they have that in common that they're homesteaders, or they're farming
Yes.
or, whatever. But there's people like me who I'm not in that situation, but I like that kind of stuff. So I will watch their content, but I'm not in competition with them channel wise, because I'm really not going to ever do homesteading type things. But
Yeah.
because I met some of them, it's like they've accepted me to, I can participate in some of their collaborations and be a guest on their show and things like that. But I don't have anything to offer the whole homesteading community because I don't really know anything about that,
Right.
you know.
Look, we've got dueling night bots going now.
My night bot's better than yours.
Yeah, yours is better. I'm learning. I've been on my to-do list is to research and watch Echo's Nightbot, to research and watch Journey Mirror's Nightbot, to research and watch Belt Loop's Nightbot. I've witnessed Memoirs of a Redneck Barbie's Nightbot. I learned a few things from hers, and yeah, I should probably pick your brain on that. Let's see here. I'm gonna try something. I don't know if this will work on here though. Command send. So I want to know. I learn people's command lists. Right.
Yeah, see, and I don't even know my own command list because I set everything on a timer and it just automatically drops throughout the live.
Yeah.
And like if I wanted to share my email, I would have to think about, gee, how would I, what is the command to share my email? To me,
Oh,
it's easier for me just to type in my email than it is to
yeah.
remember the command.
Right. Right.
But I do know
Yep.
that once you get good enough at writing your commands, you can have it
Yeah.
literally do all kinds of things. And it
Dang. Yeah.
has lots of functions to do other things that I don't know anything about. And I
Right.
want to learn, how to do more with it too. But it
Yeah.
is something that you've got to go in and update and,
Yeah.
you know, that's one of those things. It's on my to-do list
Do
somewhere,
you, do you
but
have a command that you use for like people drop their link in the chat? Do you use one of
yeah,
those?
I have mine is hashtag echo.
Hashtag
And
echo.
if they do hashtag echo, it'll drop their link.
Okay, I'm not in yours right now, so I can't do that. But
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, I got to learn how to do that. That's one of the ones I want to do where people can share their own link. On Memoirs of a Redneck Barbie on Belinda E Block 2075, hers, she set it up where she had each command, like you could type in exclamation point neighbor, and it's Rising Phoenix is her neighbor, or in some sense, some form. So it would put her link. It would say a quick thing about Rising Phoenix being her neighbor, and then it would put her link. So she's got individual codes for each person to share their link. So mine is like something like, I don't know, aloha or something like. So either she could type in the aloha thing, or I could to exclamation point aloha or whatever, and then it'll
Right.
put my link on there. So she's
Yeah.
got a list of 20 people or 30 people, all their different their little commands.
Yeah.
So that,
That's
I don't
good.
know. That's something. I don't
Hi,
know.
Elle, and hi, Eat More Pizza. Welcome, both of you.
Yeah.
And
Hey
some
there.
people just have a word, like Gail over at Gail Southern Living. Her word is
Yeah.
dolphin, and you
Dolphin. Yeah.
type dolphin, and it'll
Yep.
drop her channel.
Yeah.
I think everybody, can set it up however they want, whatever word. Some
Right.
people you just type drop and it'll
Drop.
drop the link. Some people you type link and it'll drop the link. So,
Yeah.
and some people are, they'll tell you, or they'll have Nightbot telling you if you want to drop your link, type whatever.
Right.
So
Yes.
that's
Do.
good.
That's a good thing. Have your Nightbot on a say 20-minute interval. Share that statement. Hey, if you want to drop your link, go ahead and do this
Yes,
command.
yes.
That's kind of
And
cool.
and like
Yeah.
I have the two other channels, so I have my Nightbot
There.
dropping the links for the two other channels, and
Right.
then I have it drop Elisa's channel because we do that show on Thursdays together. So it's just easier if I have it automatically dropping it.
Right. Yep.
But I would love to have everybody's link in there and drop in, but it's just the time it takes to go in and actually set
Well,
that all up. I
I just
haven't.
saw on Belt Loops, I just saw he's got it set up where he's got probably his biggest fans or community members. So he's got every, say, 5 or 10 or 20 minutes, it'll share one of his top community members, and it'll just keep
Mhm.
sharing their links throughout the whole live. So that's kind of interesting way to do it too. Like if I'm just like trying to shout out my top 5 or 10 supporters, I could put it on like every 20 minutes to share, or five
And
minutes to share
since
one of them.
since you
Five to
have
share
the
something
is it
like that.
Discord that you have or something else that you have the
I don't.
membership thing in?
Oh, membership Patreon. Yeah, Patreon.
Patreon. Okay. You could do that. You could drop a
Yep.
link advertising your Patreon, and then you could
Right.
advertise the people in the Patreon as well.
Totally. Yep.
And I think I have one to join my membership, but I don't think I have one that actually mentions the members.
Right. Right. Yep.
Eat More Pizza said I had a Word doc laid out with the links. I would
Yeah.
copy and paste in the chat. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah.
There,
That's
it's
pretty.
endless the things you could
Oh.
do. I've seen it tell you jokes. I've seen
Oh.
mine. I have the weather report. It'll give you your weather report.
Yeah.
But I've seen it do jokes. I've seen them have where it'll give you like a positive thought of the day. Um,
Mm,
just all different kinds of
yeah.
things
Hmm.
that you want to share. That way you're not having to actually mess with it during the chat. It's just getting dropped, periodically or whatever. So
Interesting. Hmm.
it to me it's a really good tool, but it
Yeah.
is a tool and it depends on how you set it up, whether or not
Right.
it's successful. There are a lot of people that people used it and didn't have it set up right, and it timed a lot of people out, and people were
Yeah.
like, I mean, I've heard people say if they go into a chat and they see Nightbot in there, they're leaving. Like they
It
don't want
leaves.
to even be involved around a Nightbot. And, that's all fine and good too. And I think with you having Deb helping you,
Mhm.
she can always drop things for you. With me being here by myself, it's like I got so much to, think about
Yeah.
that it's like that's the last thing I'm thinking about is, oh, I
Right.
need to be dropping all these links. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, if you want to drop your link, echo, hashtag
Hey,
echo.
I
I try to
do
give
the same
everybody
thing.
the wrench. You can get to know
Yeah,
everybody else.
I do. Well, yeah, and I like to. I just tell everyone to share your user handle anytime. Just user handle, drop it anytime. Like I just this is what community is to me. So that's
That's
what I
right.
do. But
Hey,
yeah,
Luna. Hey,
and then
Elisa.
there's other ones too. Like I guess I'm starting to see some other Botrix, Botrix. I guess is one of them, and Stream Elements looks like a really cool thing, and they have it drops things in the chat too for you.
And
Uh,
I think there's Streamlabs is a
Streamlab, that's what it's
um
called.
yeah,
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs is a streaming service, and I think they have their own bot. Hi,
That works.
Hoover Homestead, welcome.
I got to get a
And
laptop or computer to do that Streamlabs at the next level. Though I'm like Tuber Chat does. It's amazing.
yeah,
Yep, stitching it up. Yoli motivates us here. Married in Arkansas. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome.
well, I got somebody looking in my window.
Oh
I live,
my.
I live on the first floor, and the
Okay.
the windows are all on the one side of the house, and
Yeah.
um, it's like right up to the parking lot. So people
Oh,
get out
okay.
of their car, and like when they're trying to figure out what apartment to go to, it's like,
Oh my.
okay, you're just standing there looking at me in the window. Should I wave at you? It's like,
Right. You get people viewing, from here and out there. You're just like, oh, I got another viewer. Hey, hang out, watch through the window. I
yeah,
need watch time. I need some watch time. If you're
it's
gonna
like
stand there and look in my window, at least get me open in my phone.
exactly. Hello, Lisa, married with children. Listen at me, married in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I
So
used to
yeah.
watch that show, Married with Children. Do
Married
you
with
remember
children.
that
Yep, me too.
show?
I
And
did watch too. Yep. Yep.
every time I see that married, I always think of Married with Children. I always say that wrong about her channel, and I am sorry. And Trekking with Deb and Mike. Hi, welcome, welcome.
Yep. The
Everybody is just coming right on in. We were talking
yeah.
about how he's doing on YouTube, but I really want to have a conversation with him about Hawaii
Okay.
because, as y'all can tell with my map back here, I am geographically challenged. I don't know where things are or anything about them, and I want to know all about Hawaii and the islands and how you like which one you live on and how you go from place to place and all that because
Right.
that is something that is unique to your area of
Yep.
of our country.
Sure. I'm just giving a few Blue Jackets almost done. I just gave
Okay.
to Rio for Life and It's Marvella and Tommy Kenyon and Ellen Smile. Ellen should have had one many months ago. I'm catching up on Blue Jacket. Stitching It Up's got theirs now too. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. There's Rudy. All
Hi, Rudy.
right.
Everybody's
So
saying
yeah,
they're tired, tired. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. Wake up, people. Wake up.
wake up. All right. How are we gonna get everybody up? Everybody up on your feet. We're jumping jacks. All right, ready.
Oh, goodness.
I get the ukulele going. Who's ready to dance? Echo, echo, echo. I've been dipping you. My I've had a lot of fun lately with that, with the playing music, and I don't know if you've done it before, but I put my earbud in my ear, so I
Uh-huh.
got my tablet here, and then
Uh-huh.
my ear in my ear, and I put like in YouTube, I type in like the name of a song, and I put lyrics, so you could put like "Feel Wonderful Tonight" lyrics or whatever the song is,
Right.
um, and then start playing the YouTube. Keep the volume because it's in my ear, so I put the volume up so I can hear the song in my ear, and then I've got the lyrics on the screen, so then I can play the music with my ukulele, and I could sing exactly what I hear and what I see on the screen. I can sing it. The
But you're not
lion,
going to get a copyright because you're
not
not
copyright.
technically,
Yeah,
yeah.
volume in my
Yeah.
ear, not going into the thing. So then, the
Yeah.
lion sleeps tonight in the jungle, the quiet jungle. The lion
That's
sleeps
pretty
tonight.
creative. A creative
Yeah,
way to do that.
been a lot of
Yeah.
fun lately. So that's been
Yeah.
my one of my new things.
And that's
But
the word I would definitely use to describe your channel. It is entertaining. It
entertain.
it
Yeah,
yes, it really is entertaining because you don't know what's gonna happen for one thing. And so
there you go.
you're like watching. It's like I listen to a lot of people's
Yeah,
shows, while I'm
right.
working and doing other things. But with you, it's like I want to see what he's going to do. So I find myself getting distracted from my work
I
and
know.
just sitting here watching you on my phone. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be getting some work done here today. But I
Yeah,
do like it because it is so entertaining. So
thank you.
that's a good
Thank
thing.
you.
That's very
I
good.
have fun. I got today's like some sort of like channel your inner wild side, like walk on the wild side day or something like that.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I'll wait to get today. So the 30-day challenge, we're doing that subject today. And so I went to the beach. It's a video I got up there. I went to the beach and I ended up climbing some trees like a kid again, and the ocean is there in the background, so you get to see the ocean and yeah, just every day to me is walk on the wild side, inner child day. So
Well, I think if I lived near an ocean, I wouldn't
be
get
there.
anything done because
I
I'd
know.
be at the ocean every day. Because I love even just sitting on the beach and listening to the waves,
Yep. Hmm.
To
Mary's
me,
here.
that is so relaxing. Hey, Mary.
Standard moderator. Yeah, she's my next guest on Five Questions, by the way, next Saturday, earlier than your event. So next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern is Blessed to Crochet. Mary on Five Questions with the Source.
Well, I might have to back mine up, or I might have to start late because Mary will have a good conversation, and you might
Oh,
go a little long. So
mhm.
I'll be
Well,
watching, and I'll back up
I,
if I have to.
I try to cap it at 2 hours either way, So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But it's to me it's fun that, and I want to talk to Big Jack about it too because he
yeah,
goes on usually like at 9 o'clock and
right.
I usually go like at 7 and you're going like at 4. So it's like it's really kind of cool that, we could all
Yes.
schedule on the same day and yet we can go and support each other. So
And
that's really
and
really good to me.
Belt Loop teaches us how to go in and actually have your redirect. Everybody who's watching your
Yeah.
live can then go, it'll automatically open up your live when you
Right.
start. Then it'll automatically open up Big Jack's live if you set it up on your end to do that too. And
Yeah,
uh,
I was talking to him about that when I was on your show, matter of fact. And so I want to get into how to do that too, because I
uh,
think that that is, to me, would be a perfect way for
to
us
do
to keep the audience, and keep it, moving along, and keep people having something, fun to watch or whatever.
right, right. That's an idea. It's an idea for sure.
Yeah.
So Hawaii.
Yes.
Um,
Tell us
okay.
all about it. Where do you live? What are you
All
on the
right.
mainland, so to speak, or are you on an island?
They're all islands. I'm on Maui, Hawaii.
Okay.
Um, and the other islands off the top of my head, the ones people know about are Oahu, Big Island, Kauai. I'm on Maui. There's some other smaller ones, Molokai and Lanai, and then there's even smaller ones called like Nihau and Kahulau, I think is another one. I think so there's a bunch of islands all clustered in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And yeah, I've lived on Maui like this is my eighth year on Maui. It's crazy as that sounds. Um, and my partner's here, Deb Rael, Deb producer. She's producing some rest time right now. From I already did. She's like I'm talking not for her, but I already did a 2 hour show before this, so so just enjoying the show. Uh, and yeah, so let's see, Maui, and I've only flown over to another island one time. I went over to Oahu for about 2 days. I went to a hemp conference. Um, I was working together. I was working with a team on a CBD product. So basically, we had a conference happening in a big hotel over there in like a pretty rich area of Oahu, uh, and I don't remember if it was Waikiki or it's one of those popular areas. So I didn't get to do much there. Pretty much just did the event, and I saw it's a city. I saw Oahu is skyscrapers, and there's homeless people on the streets in the city, and a lot of traffic, traffic and not as good. I'm sure there's nice beaches and nice things to do and tourist things to do and all that. I didn't get to do all that, but Pearl Harbor is popular. Um, but I know like some of the places that are more of a draw, I feel, are like Kauai because Kauai is smaller and it's beautiful and serene and people, it's more of family community. People know each other, kind of small town feel of an island. Maui is the Goldilocks zone to me because Maui's got all the comforts, but it's not too small and it's not too big like Oahu. I like Maui. It's not overdeveloped or anything like that. It's got the best of all worlds, in my opinion. You got like Maui, you've got all these different towns all over Maui. Lahaina, for what's still there. That was such a beautiful town, and now it's not because of the fires. And then to Kihei, Sai, and Wailea, resorts and lots to do over there. And over on this side over here, we've got Paia and Haiku and some of these Makawao and Kula. They call it upcountry, so it's real beautiful over on this side, the North Shore of Maui, and not as touristy as like Kihei Wailea or the Lahaina side, where there's still people living out there because there's other towns up past Lahaina, past where the fires were. There's still some towns up there. People live, and there's a lot of resorts up there. Still some things to do over there, but. And then like people come to Maui for like road to Hana. You take the drive all the way down to Hana. You go up Haleakala, up the mountain, the volcano that's not active, and you go into Iao Valley, into the beautiful, serene nature with the waterfalls and the rivers and all that. And there's all sorts of things people come to Maui for, and they go to Twin Falls. Or there's just so much hiking, and there's so many things to do in the water with surfing and swimming, and it's a nice resort island. But a lot of people live here and work here too, and we have some of the fast food and the regular stores like Walmart and Target, and we have the McDonald's and the Subways and things that people are comfortable with too. It's just not as overdeveloped as like Oahu, um, and then you've got Big Island is probably a Goldilocks zone too, because it's bigger, but it's got all worlds. I'm sure I haven't been over there yet, but I think it gets a little bit more smoggy because you got the active volcanoes, and in the sky it fills up with all the different, ick, and then it moves around and the wind blows it around, and then who wants to be in the middle of that, in my opinion. But there's a lot of great farms over there growing a lot of great stuff, food and coffee and so many things, and lots of great local people and things to do on Big Island as well. And then you've got Molokai and Lanai. Molokai is like locals island, local Hawaiians, real rootsy type of an island. You might want to go over there to like work on a fish pond, get in the water and move rocks around and set it up so it can bring the fish in, and be a nice little fish pond with like a local Hawaiian family, and then stay in their local structures and do things like that, real local, and get to know the culture and eat poi together and taro, and do the local stuff, and maybe pick some lilikoi or pick some, do something on the land, and you learn about some of the fruits like lilikoi and soursop and egg fruit and jackfruit and longans and rambutans and jabuticabas and all these different fruits that are from the Pacific region. And
I was gonna
it's
say it's almost like a foreign country in itself,
yeah,
just
it's
because of
fun.
the different things that are available there. Yeah.
Yeah, new tastes, and that's Molokai, real local island, and then Lanai is actually owned by a tech guy, and it's
He owns
like
the
a
whole
little.
island.
He owns the island, yes.
I own
Uh,
an island.
Larry Ellison of Oracle is.
You can
So
come stay on my island. Sure.
they've got a couple resorts in the town, and they got a couple restaurants, and everybody works for him. And they just, think about like Disneyland, but just being a little resort island that people stay in the
Yeah.
resort, they eat at the restaurants, and then they go venture off into the nature. At least they've got the nature, the whole island's nature, so they can go do that. And
Oh, that
um,
would be cool
but
though.
from here, from Maui, we can hop in a ferry and go over to like Lanai. Um, and But then we tend to fly in these little planes over to Molokai and some of the other islands. The main airlines also fly you over to Oahu and Big Island, I'm sure, and stuff like that, Kauai. But there's these little planes, these little hop skipper planes. That you use a little airline, and you just get in there with like,
How much does
and
something like that cost?
uh I don't know exactly. I guess 150, 100, something in the range. I don't know though. For the small ones, yeah, it takes like 20 to 40 minutes to do your trip, or whatever. So that's kind of cool. And
Oh, yeah.
Uh, we use these airlines to fly produce around to the other islands. So like we'll take like 2-3 pallets full of local produce, and we'll go and we'll put it on the plane, and it then flies over that day. Within a couple hours, they get a couple pallets of Maui produce that they can distribute or use at their restaurants or whatever they use it for.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's really a different kind of way of life, you know.
yeah.
I mean, because I guess it's all included in the state, quote unquote, Hawaii, but
Yeah,
yet they're all so separated that it's almost
right.
like they're their own little states or their own little countries. What
Yeah.
what got you to move there?
And Lisa wants to know if I know Roseanne Barr. I don't. She says that she lives in Hawaii, I guess, but I didn't know that she lives in Hawaii. We've got some celebrities though in Hawaii, in Maui, and yeah, we've got Oprah's got a property up in Kula. We like to, tourists sometimes go up there, and you drive down a private road. You're supposed to park your car, and then people like to walk, run, or bike on her private road, and they go look at her house. Maybe they take a picture of her house. We drive it. We see the horses there. They come up, and we say hi to the horses, and we drive all the way up the hill, and like it's all Oprah's land all around, and yeah, Willie Nelson's here in Maui, and Aerosmith's Steven Tyler is here a lot, and then what's the guy, hey hey hey, or what's that guy's name that is uh, not, well, yeah, him too, Woody Harrelson. I've seen Woody Harrelson 2 times actually in
Oh, wow.
Paia, in Paia town. Chris Christopherson just passed, I guess. He was here. There's another one I can't think of his name. Um, yeah, but yeah, there's celebrities. They come and go. But you had just asked me a question about. No, no. Echo asked me a question. Um, what was it?
Nana wants to know, can you have a party and we can all come?
Yeah, I think it's possible down the road here.
Yeah.
I do think like a YouTube meetup, or like I'm thinking more in terms of like a convention style event would be good if we can uh line up like a resort, and like a big conference room or something where we can all come together like once a year or something. Maui would be a good choice for something like that, and then we could all come
Yeah.
out here for 3 days or 5 or 7 or whatever amount
Yeah.
people. Maybe you could structure your own trip accordingly, but we could all have a nice event, like a full day or two event that we can all do, connect, do the business stuff side of things, where we could put people on stage. Like I think in terms of awards, on annual awards events, we can have performances and presentations, like TED Talks, and like different things, like the people that have really been putting together the best content. We can kind of tune into what the lineup could look like with like a
Yeah.
regular. And then of course food. We've got all these awesome chefs, like whether we want to put them to work or not, or whether we want to just pay the resort, the restaurants to, because that could be cool. Like if what Chef Hit Dice or Drunken Chef
Yeah.
Barbecue, to have
Because
them
he's
like,
in California. So,
we book it in a place where we can cater it ourselves, then
yeah.
we can have them kind of showcasing. Like we don't have smell-o-vision or taste-o-vision yet, but we
Yeah.
can actually
Right.
meet up, and then we can enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh,
Be cool.
I would be so interested in doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is
move
so
it.
many things that we could do, even though we're all over the place.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, there are planes and there are
There's
boats and
a lot of cruise. I think stay phenomenal cruise, or whatever, the taglines we use with it. A family cruise would be fun. We almost are talking about being our own travel company in a sense. Like if any of us want to really dial it in, because one of us could contact a travel agency and can start brokering some of this stuff out, and
yeah,
then we have 20, 50, or 100 of us that might do something together.
yeah.
We put on the schedule, these are the dates when we're taking off in the cruise is gonna go here, there, and there over this period. Feel free to go ahead and purchase your tickets. Here's the code for our
And
family to get
a lot of places I was going to say will give you a discount when you book so
discount. Yep,
many
gonna be a lot of that. Because if we
rooms
move as
together or
one,
whatever. Yeah,
we'll get discount codes and things for all the things we start doing together.
hmm
Yeah, and then our annual calendar will come into being, where you'll have like a cruise on the schedule, and then you'll have our annual convention at a certain day, and and location, and then you'll start filling in with different things in the
Yeah.
mainland, say, or over in Europe, or like, there might be multiple things going at the same time for the people all in Europe or the people all on the mainland America. Like you might see different programming. Like there's lots of possibilities.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there I mean, and it's not something that's really being done right now either, because so
Not
many
yet.
of the YouTube channels are so, I don't know if I want to call it standoffish, but it's like everything's a secret and I don't want to associate with anybody else, and that
Right.
kind of thing. And I think, there's a lot of room, and there's room for everybody to grow, and it could really be something
Right.
amazing if people would
Mhm.
just work together and not be so, I don't know
Yeah.
what you want to call it, but
Gen X Effect is here, Pawpaw, and got a bunch of people here. Amelia loves Ariel's in the
hello,
house.
hello,
Uh,
hello.
I've been giving out standard moderators left and right here. There's one for Pawpaw, one
Mhm.
for Amelia. And somebody wanted to know, why did I move there? Yoli motivates
Oh
want to
yeah,
know
that's,
why
I asked you that. What
you
brought you
asked her
to? Yeah,
what brought me to Maui.
yeah.
So I had already been traveling. So because I was in Ohio for 30 years of my life. And then I had met a woman online when I was in Ohio, staying on my dad's couch for 3 months after I let go of my business. And she kind of inspired me to move out to California. And it was like, yeah, you should be in California. You sound like California. You need to be out here. Like, come out here, Marianne Williamson every week, and we've got this and that and the other things happening. You can go to permaculture, da da da, go to festivals, this and that and the others happening. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. I'm like, all right. So I just packed up my van and I just put everything I had in it, and I just drove Route 66 across the country out to
Oh,
California. I met up with her at Santa Monica Pier at the end of Route 66, and and then from there, I hung out with her for a couple months there, but I ended up being just a launch pad for me to start setting up my own stuff out there. Like I lived in the van for a little bit, and I networked with people, like-minded individuals, and I got a job here and there, little bit of money. Not long. I got a little place to live for a second there, not for long. And then I kept networking, and like everyone in LA started saying, "Yeah, you should be in Ojai, California. Ojai, California is where you should be. You're not. It doesn't work here in LA. What you're talking about." And so then a group of us went up to Ojai, California. It's between LA and San Fran,
mhm.
and spiritual town, small town, and village town, and I started like doing my thing there. I stayed at a woman's house. I slept on her couch mostly, and I helped her with. I got her groceries, and I helped feed her dog and her cat, and I walked the dog, and I would drive her around, and I just whatever was needed. Like I'd help her with the computer work stuff, like whatever. She was disabled, and so I helped her. I stayed probably a year or two there. I met up with a group there that we created a festival called the One Love Experience. So I worked on that for a few years in a row while I was there, and yeah, I met Deborah Al, my partner here. She was living in Ojai uh, for like 20 years at that point. So
Wow.
and met up with her at a local bar there, and we both were just watching the music and just listening to the music and just chilling. And we had our own table, each of us, and we looked at each other and at the same moment, and we both kind of got the message, like he's just like me and she's just like me, same message in our heads. And so I connected with her, and I guess I married her instantly and wrapped my finger around her pinky or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just just me and just being me, and I'm crazy. And so drinking my beer and dancing around the bar like a maniac, and being all up on her, and she's just like, "Who is this guy? Why is he all on?" And I'm just, it's spirit guided to me, so I don't know. I don't even remember details as much as she does, but so yeah, and then it ended up being like every couple days we would be out for music at the bar, different bars, and we had community in Ojai there, and it was a nice little town for me to do my thing. I planned these little events in the park where I did a really free market where I was, everybody's giving free things out to each other, and we're dancing and doing drum circle in the park, and all the locals coming together. Yeah, free hugs, and just we did all that sort of stuff for a good year or whatever. And so I was in Ohio a little while there. Then at the festival that I produced, helped co-produce the One Love Experience, somebody actually came to my presentation. I did a Bring Back the Village presentation at the festival, um, about us all getting into community and living in community, and such. And this young woman came up to me after, and she said, can I talk to you about something? I'm like, sure, but I'm heading straight to something right now. She said, all right, I'll walk with you. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. And we were both walking across the festival grounds, and she pitches to me, hey, you'd be perfect to do this bus tour together. And I'm like, okay, tell me about it. She's like, well, it's a permaculture, like getting on the land and working the land, food forests, that sort of thing, bus tour that her and her team are getting ready to do. And I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool. And I'm like, well, I also have this bring back the village element. So can we weave the two? So we end up doing a permaculture village bus tour,
Oh,
for
wow.
us to both do our intentions. And she called her teammates. They jumped into the festival grounds, and we all sat and we planned out the bus tour. And within a couple weeks of that, we were five of us on a short bus, a little short bus, rickety, black painted. The steps to the bus were broken, so you got to skip a step. And it was rickety old painted black bus, and we all put our bedding in there and all our things underneath the benches, and we all slept in there. And we five of us, we got sponsors. We got like Cliff Bar and like some coconut waters and stuff, to free stuff for us to drink and eat and give out on our tour. And we traveled, we sent messages out to all the different farms and permaculture projects, and like really cool like eco villages on the west coast. And they said, yeah, come on through with your bus tour. So we planned a schedule for a whole month of different events up and down the west coast, California, LA, San Diego, Ojai, all these different areas where we did permaculture. We worked on like we created a cob bench at a farm in Ojai. We went on a tour of the LA Eco Village. We worked on a food forest down in San Diego area, another food forest in someone's backyard in the San Diego area. All these different cool spots we stopped in, and one person offered free massages. One person was a DJ and was offering the music. We gave out free Cliff Bars and coconut waters. We talked about permaculture and bringing back the village. For a whole month, we just did that up and down the coast, and that was good for a while. And then there was also a time I went up to Oregon and met up with a group of change makers, and we were at Triangle Lake, Oregon, and we were working on a Change the World project and our own cryptocurrency, and our own micronation, basically our own country. And we had people around the world tuning in. We did these live shows on Zoom, and we had 10, 15 people on the screen together, and we would talk about our currency and our nation, and how to join and how to share your assets into the fold. So you get currency, and then you have access within the community with your currency to visit, our different lands, and buy our different health products and the different things that each person's put in. They got currency, so you stake in the project in the currency with that, with your pledging to the project. And so it was a lot of fun, and it's definitely the blueprint going forward if we could do it again. And we did that. I was there like 3, 4, 5, 6 months maybe in Oregon with the crew, and we did live shows every day, and then that kind of came to an end there, and I ended up hopping in an RV and going back down to Ojai to visit Deb. 'Cause Deb was my landing spot a few times, um, and uh, and then the fires came through Ojai, California, and we had to escape. So I got Deb, and we went and grabbed Deb's friends and got their car and drove the friend and Deb and myself up out of Ojai and escaped the fires.
Mm.
And we ended up doing that another time. We hopped once we went back to Ohio. It was too smoky, so we hopped in Deb's car and went up the coast and went and did like our own little tour, raising awareness for the fire victims of Ojai and the surrounding areas. And that was short lived. And so at that point, I had done all these things, and the momentum was like, okay, like, all right, no, we're not going on this tour any longer. I'm going home, back to Ojai. Okay, and where does Doran go now? What does Doran do now? And there was a point there in Oregon on the land where one of our community members of that project in Oregon at Triangle Lakes was losing her citizenship, access to America, and she was trying to figure out how to be able to visit her son who had the American citizenship. So she was trying desperately to figure out how to be able to see her son. So she got all of our attention with this energy of like, how am I going to be able to see my son? This is not good. And like we all tuned in with her, and one of our guys said, "Oh, you just go over to Hawaii, go to Kauai, and you go to this little coffee shop in town and you get sovereign citizenship with this tribe, and then you can travel the world. And it's a citizenship. It's like any other citizenship. So then you can travel and fly around the world, and you have citizenship to travel and go anywhere. It's no problem." And we're all like, "What? This exists? No way!" Like, so we all tuned in and we're like, all right, where are we gonna live in Kauai after this, after we leave Oregon? And like we're all like, nobody has a place in Kauai. Uh-oh, what do we do? What do we do now? And he's same guy says, well, let's just go to Maui. And I've got a place for us to stay in Maui, maybe. Let me call them. Let me call them. So he got them on a live call, and we're all in there like, all right, we're gonna go to Maui. Like, all right, what's going on in Maui? And the community in Maui, um, they're like, um, they it wasn't like that. It was like maybe like one of you can come over, like work trade on the land type thing. But it wasn't like our whole group of 5 or 10 of us can just go and land at this farm in Maui and like do our project and maybe help on the land a little bit. But so long story short, one of our guys flew over to Maui, and he ended up work trading with them for a month. And when it was time for me to leap, I had to tune into where I would go next from that tour after the fires. And I was thinking about going back up the coast, but I was really getting a message that Hawaii was going to be my next move. And for a while there, many months, if not a year, yeah, so like I was seeing people in our tribe that had already been to Hawaii were much more dialed in than the people that had not been to Hawaii yet. And I was just knew for like at least a year that that was my next move. So I hopped on a plane. I didn't have many things to take with me, and I flew over to Maui. I went straight to that same farm, and luckily my buddy who was there already work trading there built a good relationship with them, and it was like New Year's Eve, so I helped the people that run the farm. I helped them at a New Year's Eve party, put on the event, and I just was accepted so well amongst the whole community of Maui people that come together for these gatherings. And they let me stay there, and I didn't have a place to stay yet, but my buddy Keegan, actually his name, he was like got the guidance to just go onwards. And Keegan went to an event, a permaculture style event, and he opened up his space for me to move right in. and I stayed there like 6 months on this farm doing the permaculture on the land, and it got me really connected into Maui and everything happening on the island, and then yeah, I got a job and I got a car and I got another job, and then I got this nice place here, and then Deb joined me here once that was all set up because she had visited a few times already. Yeah, that's a bit of the story, I guess.
And so you've been there now, both of you there for about 8 years. Is that right?
I- I've been 8 years. She's almost 5 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, we've been together almost 10 years.
So she was not with you when you went to Oregon.
No, no, she was in
Okay.
Ohio, her home. She lived there
Okay.
20 years, and she lived in the same place for what, 13 years? No, longer. 13. How many years were you at that place? She had a nice place to live in Ohio, a really nice little spot. So she didn't really have to be moving on, but thank goodness for iPhone. But I dialed things in enough. We kept in touch on iPhone and on Zoom and all that. But yeah,
Oh,
I went to
good.
Oregon for those months, and then like it kind of came to an end there, and I just was like, I was getting messages, go back and visit Deb, because I was at the end of the time in Oregon there. Like sometimes my energy does some things, and the leaders of that project in Oregon, they literally were like, you got to leave the property, and we're gonna have the
Mhm.
police here soon. So I was sleeping in a bed in rundown cabins, and just had my door closed for a whole day. And that was my message, was to go down and visit Deb and Ojai. And then this couple came through in an RV, and the leaders of the project, they left for a day or whatever, and the couple in the RV came in, and we all did this workshop together. The couple in the RV led this fun workshop, playful, like interactive workshop. So we all did that all day, and then they were ready to leave, and I hopped in the RV with them and went down the coast and got close enough to Ojai that Deb was able to drive and meet me, and bring me to Ojai. But then the fires came through so soon that we had to escape out of there. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I rescued them from the fires, and yeah, the fires came right up to the house that we stayed one night at this house, and then we all got the message to evacuate that morning, and then we hopped in the BMW and drove her friend and Deb and myself. I drove them, and there was one road out of town, and we drove it and got out of town, and fires on both sides, and
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
we went up the coast and stayed in a small town up near Lompoc, California. We stayed in a hotel. Luckily, between rental insurance and between her family supporting, we had a place to stay for a while there and had a little vacation. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you've been all over. So you were in Ohio for 30 years and then said, I'm
Yes.
not staying in any one place very long and just been seeing the
Mhm.
world. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I know. Totally. Totally. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Hawaii sounds a whole lot more interesting than Georgia. I mean, Georgia's nice because you've got North Georgia with the mountains, and then you've got South Georgia, which is so close to
Right.
Florida that it's more, like Florida weather and stuff. So it's a nice state, but it doesn't have all those fun things to do, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Georgia, yeah, like I've been down there. Like I remember as a kid, we would go down. Sometimes we'd go down the whole East Coast, down to Florida, and kind of wrap around the Panhandle over a little bit of like Georgia areas, and then go back up to Ohio, like kind of trip. And also,
Mhm.
I did a couple spring breaks down there with my college fraternity brothers and all, and we would stay either Orange Beach on the Floribama border, or Pompano Beach in Florida. So those are a couple of our trips that we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Florida's really nice too, but it's very touristy, you know.
Yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah, yeah. My sister lives right in downtown Sarasota, and then I have a nephew and his wife and little girl, and they live in Boca Raton,
Yeah.
and so they're
Okay.
on the opposite coast. So my sister has a place, that's her son and granddaughter, so they have a place there in Boca too, and they go between the two different coasts.
Got, Bells and Stars has been here in the chat. Thank you for visiting. And yeah, everybody else. I think I shouted everybody else in my chat. Oh yeah, R&B. What is it? R&B roaming. Yeah, I just gave her blue jacket. Uh,
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, good people, good crew today, everybody. Mhm.
Yes, indeed. And I again apologize for our rocky start. I don't know what is wrong with I don't know if it's my internet or if it's Restream. I'm thinking it's probably Restream since it had a problem last night and a problem
we
again today.
we
So,
are with 5 questions earlier. Jamie was in the StreamYard. He was in StreamYard. I was in StreamYard, and I didn't see him in my guest room, and he was in the guest room on his. So it was just not connecting. I didn't see. I couldn't add him to the screen or anything. So we just did a YouTube live, a standard one. So
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I had trouble with my on my television. It kept cutting out, and I had called the internet company, and I was like, "You need to do something because my internet is not staying up." And they ran some test on it from the office or whatever, and said, "No, your internet hasn't been out." And I'm like, "Well,
Oh,
tell my television that because my television can't talk to the internet." And they were kind of like it was either user error or maybe something was wrong with my television. But anyway, after I called and everything, it just seemed to clear up. So it
okay.
really makes me think that there was something wrong with the internet, and
Oh,
they just were not admitting
we
it.
do that. We call the internet company, and they send us juice. I guess they send juice. We reset our routers and our whatever Wi-Fi and all that. We unplug and do a whole process, and then like yeah, if you call the company, somehow they could just send out a ping or something, and I don't know what the deal is.
Well, a few months ago, it went off right when I wasn't on live, but I was on the internet on my laptop, and then it just cut off. And when
Yeah,
I had called that time, they kept saying it was something about some kind of backup battery that is on the outside of the building and all this mess, and that they'd have to send somebody out to fix it. And
yeah,
I was like, well, do whatever you need to do because I need my internet to work. Well, then the next day before they came, I got a text message saying your problem's been resolved and your
yeah.
appointment's been canceled. And I
Oh,
was like,
mhm.
okay. So then I called again and they were like, oh, well, that person that said they had to come out there didn't know that we can fix that remotely and we don't have to come out. And that's why they canceled your appointment. And now it's fixed, supposedly. I
Mm.
was like, okay, if I have any more trouble, I'm going to call back, which I didn't have any trouble for a couple of months. And then I had the problem with the television. So I don't know. I'm not that good with technology and all of it, but I like things to work like they're supposed to work.
Yeah,
I'm the same way when it comes to my car. It doesn't matter if it sits there for a week. If I go out there and want to go somewhere, I want it to start and I
of
want to
course.
be able to go.
Yeah.
And it's very aggravating to me when the car doesn't work like it's supposed to.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I'm not a patient person when it comes. I'm waiting for a ride for somebody to come and get me and take me somewhere.
mm-mm.
It's just I don't know. I can't handle it. I'm like forget it. I don't want to go. If I have to wait around all day for whenever you show up
Right.
or whatever. So
Yep.
I'm good that I have my own vehicle, but it's
Yep. I'm
it's
I'm
not
from
good.
I'm from Cleveland. I know, Mary. I think we talked about this already. I'm from
Yeah,
Cleveland,
Mary's in
Cleveland
Ohio.
Heights, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. So, yeah, yeah. So, Echo. So you have how many watch hours do you have 2,000 plus subs. How many watch hours do you have? And you have to keep it up every year, or what's going on with that?
Um, Once you get locked in at the 4,000, it no
Yeah.
longer shows on your earn tab how many
Okay.
hours you have.
Right.
You can still see
Oh,
it on your dashboard, and but
right.
like it'll say, for the last 90 days or whatever, you've got X amount of views and X amount of watch hours.
Got it.
But then I think you can go into your analytics and you can actually see how many watch hours. I know that I got a notice from YouTube not too long ago that said that I had 10,000 watch hours.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
don't know if that's like lifetime
Right.
or what.
Yeah, I got
But the
those.
only thing I've heard about if you get below the 4,000 is once you're monetized, and if your hours drop below the 4,000, then they kind of suspend your ad revenue until you get
Oh,
back over the 4,000.
right.
But I think it's pretty much as long as you are actively putting out content and having watch hours, you don't really have to worry, about how many watch hours you have. Now, I don't like it when I'll see mine will start, the number will start going down as far as that 90-day window that shows on the dashboard. And I'll be like, I wonder why that is. And then every time I've looked at it and said, well, that's weird that it's dropped down a little bit, and then it'll start coming back up. So that could be YouTube's math too. I don't know.
Ladies of
Yeah.
iTalk is here. Ladies of iTalk. Aloha. Do you know Ladies of iTalk,
I
Echo?
don't.
Man, they did I'm just getting to know them, but they did a event the other day, and everybody was in there, and there's like high energy, and so yeah,
I
there's
need to,
somebody there.
I need to
Yeah.
write that down and check them out.
What does iTalk stand for? I did just learn it, but I already forgot. You're welcome for the wrench. What is the iTalk? I forget what the ITOK stands for. Um, yeah, what are the other two channels? Also, Ellen Smile. Are you friends with Ellen Smile, Echo?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Steve. God bless. God bless Steve. Sweet Steve. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, for
I went
sure.
in my there's a difference between your public subscribers and the
Yeah,
ones that are not public.
right, right,
And so I don't know why, but every time I would look at my subscribers that are public, I was never looking at that at all of them. I think I had it set like on 90 days or something,
right.
and I had like 150 in that 90-day period. And I was like, I've got to have more than 150 public subscribers. And then it
Right.
dawned on me, oh, you can change that setting and you'll see, a larger section of it.
Mhm.
So then I got to looking, and there were a lot of them from 2023 and some from 2024 that were connected with me, but I wasn't connected with them. And I was like,
Hmm.
I think I would have had to been connected to him in the beginning. So I'm wondering if YouTube, and then so I started going on some of those channels, looking at them, and a lot of them hadn't put any content out for the last 6 months or longer. And
Hmm.
so I'm wondering if YouTube kind of takes your subscribers away if you haven't put out
Hmm.
content for a little while.
Interesting. Huh.
So that was interesting, to know about that. But I noticed that a lot of people that do giveaways are now starting to say you have to be a public subscriber to their channel in
Yeah.
order to qualify for their giveaways. And I'm just wondering how many people realize that you have a choice in setting that to private or
Right.
public.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that,
Indeed.
that's kind
Yeah.
of interesting to think about.
So,
Um,
so Echo, do you want to try one day of our 30-day video challenge? Just pick one of the topics and just
well,
work.
I was going to ask you about it because I know it's called "Are You Locked In?" Right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I've seen some of the shorts, but I didn't know exactly what it was, and I was like, I need to ask him about that because yeah, I would love to try it.
So it started out being kind of rules based kind of thing. So let me take these off for now. So it's evolved though. It's evolved. At first, I was thinking like 1 minute max per video. I thought maybe if like 20 or 50 of us all wanted to do a challenge together, like it would be cool that if we all did 1 minute max videos, and
Mhm.
thought maybe we could all watch each other's videos, and that would be the only way it's possible that everybody could watch everybody, is if we all did short little videos. And um, but that part got blown up in the beginning. Like Zoe Madden being one of the leaders of my crew, we got Gen X Effect in here, Paw Paw, Clint, also in the crew, and also definitely a leader, and Magic of Healing Jimena, also a big leader. That's our the beginning, the core 4 or 5 of us, and then Decorate with Us just joined in as well, and Rudy's doing 100-day challenge simultaneous, so he's in a way, in a sense,
Okay.
and so basically every day on the calendar during April, there's different holidays and different themes for each day. Like today is like channeling your inner wild side, walk on the wild side day, like channel your inner child, wild side kind of topic like that for today. So I went to the beach and showed the ocean, and I climbed some trees and silly stuff. But there's no time limit. Like Zoe Madden jokes about, like he just is gonna do his video. He's gonna do it as long as he wants to do it, and it's just the way it's gonna be. And like and then like Mena, I watched Mena's first video, and she crammed in a minute. She crammed this like really fast speech. She wanted to get it all in a minute, and I'm like, that's not right. Like I feel bad watching her do that. Like, so we broke that down in the beginning, like real fast. We busted through that, and then I felt good about it too, because there's only like 5 of us there at the beginning. I think 5, me, Zoe, Jimena, and Pawpaw were the main 4, I guess, in the beginning. And so it's just each day we tune into the subject and we share a video, whatever length you want. We try to watch each other's video all the way through each day. So, if everyone's putting a 3 to 5 minute video on average, and there's 4 of us, then we're putting in the 10, 15 minutes of time to support each other, and that's totally cool. And it's working. It's working well. We've built bonds. The 4 of us built really good bonds together. We're on day 12 now, and we're having a lot of fun. We each have, or we. I think we all like. We got a funny crew. We got a funny crew. Jimena is more the genius of the crew and the spiritual master Jedi wisdom person of the crew.
Hey,
She
Verna.
She's working on the funny too a little bit. I think I see some signs, and but Zoe and Pawpaw and myself are just goofballs, and it's a joy to just tune in with each other, support each other, and plus we're getting a good following. Like, in my world, 30 to 50, 70 views is awesome. Like
And
20
is
likes is
the
awesome.
calendar
Like,
is on your community wall to tell you
on
what
my
each day
community
is?
wall, I
Okay.
share frequently as I can a weekly calendar. So right now, if you go back, I know you go back through my posts. It takes a little while to get back there. I'll have to post it again. The
Okay.
week through the 14th or 15th is up there. So that's there, and then if you go back a little while back before that, day 1 to 7 is on there as well. So yeah, 1 to 7, and then like 8 to 14 or whatever. And then I'm gonna upload the next week here pretty soon of dates. So like I like the holidays, like U.S. and global holidays that are fun. We've done like National Pet Day was yesterday, so care and nurture and play with your pets. Or if
Well,
you
I
don't have
could
a
have
pet,
done that one easy.
you
I
can
could have
still
done
do
that
it.
easy with my
So
dog. Yeah.
in the next couple days, just film yourself with your animal, and just loving, care, and nurturing, playing. Put up a video, and if you utilize the 30-day video challenge hashtag and the Are You Locked In hashtag, if you utilize those two, it's best for us all to find you, and
Okay.
then we can all tune into you. Like, I want to, I'm always encouraging everybody in the crew to check out anybody that puts up a video with the challenge. And we just did a challenge. I'm adding in things like I just offered like we can all have a wild card. Once a week, we can do a wild card or a mulligan where you can just do whatever you want for that day if you don't want to do the subject of that day. So
Oh,
that's new. And then we're also doing the new thing I just did a couple days ago is at the end of the video, um, like I challenged fishy things to try on the challenge for one day. Pick any day previous to today to the rest of the month. Pick any of the days and just do it. I challenged fishy things, and then Jimena just challenged surviving together, Sass Mac to try it on for one day. And so I haven't seen any other challenges yet, but I'm trying to get everybody to challenge at least one person to try it on, and
yeah.
just see where that goes.
Okay.
So yeah, there's Gen X is saying in the chat. He's saying that it's fun. It makes it easy to do small videos when it's silly and fun. And yeah, he said, "Are you locked in 30-day video challenge?" Yep, yep. Oh, Gen X, since you're here, if you get a chance to challenge somebody on your next video, maybe at the end, just say, "Hey, I challenge you," and their username, and then tag them in the description or whatnot, and say, "Challenge you to try on one day of the challenge, any day of the first 11 days, or today's challenge is this subject." Or keep tuned in, and we'll have more days go up on the schedule soon, and you can try on any day. So that's something we're doing now. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like fun. I will definitely give it a try. Um,
Hey,
I'm definitely into trying new things.
yeah.
I
I got
I
I still got to
mm.
join the challenges you're in right now. I haven't gotten over to that. I want to say hey to Mad TV and hey to Andy Mon TV3. How you doing?
um
You
I
got 20.
I've been asked to be in a challenge in a collaboration of building something. And so at first I was like, I don't know how to build anything. I'm not going to do that one. But then I talked about it on one of my lives, and some people gave me some ideas. And I was like, oh, yeah, I could do that. So then there's also the weird container growing challenge that Gail at Gail's Southern Living is doing. And
Mm-hmm.
so I found a weird container that I'm going to try to grow something in. So I'm going to participate in that one
Cool.
too.
That sounds
So I loved doing challenges. I think they're just a lot of fun and,
yeah.
you know,
Community involvement. Yeah.
yeah.
Connection. Yeah, I agree.
So, but like I was
I
telling you earlier, I've been working so hard on this chair exercise thing, and
do it.
it's
Do
going to
it.
be it's going to be so much fun, doing it. Um,
So
but
show us your moves. Show us your moves.
oh, see, I can't show you yet. I can't show you yet.
Okay.
But I did make the video. The videos are out there for
Coming out. Check your
the
videos out.
warm up and the cool down are out. And or I guess I haven't uploaded the cool down yet. I'll upload that tonight. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm going to put out videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of the actual workouts. But right now, I'm just trying to do the different pieces of it so people can kind of figure out what to do, and then I'll put it all together. Um,
Cool.
but I'm not a professional videographer, and I'm not a professional editor, and I'm not a professional exercise person. So it's really been a challenge. But that's kind of good to challenge yourself.
Mm,
To
yep.
see if you can do something. So I'm having fun. If nothing else, I'm having fun doing it. So
Exactly.
it ought to be good. But I know you said about an hour, so it's been a little
Yeah.
over, even with our little
Good.
hiccup at the beginning. So I don't want to keep you too long. But I do
Perfect.
appreciate everybody coming in
Mm,
and supporting us. And I appreciate learning about Hawaii. I've never really even thought about ever visiting there, but now I'm kind of intrigued. Like it
yeah.
would be a fun place to visit. So
Oh, yeah, of
I
course.
will. There's Austin Garrett. He is one of my newest members. And
Cool.
Miss Star was in here earlier. I forgot to mention she's a new member, and Married in Arkansas is a member.
Nice.
So thank y'all very much.
What's
I
your membership
appreciate
in,
that.
what's your
Pardon me.
membership entail? How does that work? What's your membership?
I have a membership that I have one that's $1.99 and one that's $4.99,
Okay.
and I do some um, Members only videos. I couldn't even think. I lost my train of thought. Member only videos. I do some things early. The members get to see them early before they go public. And then I try to do one live a month just for members. And then I try to do giveaways on the live for the members. So they right
Cool.
now they get a channel sticker and a personal card from me. And I'm going to be making crocheted butterflies and or handmade cards with butterflies on them that the members will get also. So
I'll tell you what. You become my fourth member at $1 a month, and I'll be your member at $1.99. How about that?
what is the link for your Patreon
It's
thing? Because I want to advertise that for
it's
you,
on
but
my
I
channel
didn't have the
description.
details.
It's on my channel description. If you want to
In
look
your description. Okay.
that down on my channel description, there's a Patreon link on there.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and you got my email on there too, so we
Yeah.
can get that to
Yeah,
you. But
I'll definitely do that. And
I'm
that was another thing I was going to ask you, how it was going, and if you thought it was something, that was going to be beneficial. I know a lot of YouTubers have the Patreon and do a lot of things, on the Patreon. So I don't
It seems
know.
fine. It seems fine. I don't really know the ins and outs of it too much yet, features and usability. But what's important to me right now is just making it possible for people to pay a regular monthly payment. And I put on there a description of the membership, and so basically, I'm just trying to pool all the value that I offer into the people that are showing up in that way, because my expenses go up as I want to invest more and more in what I'm doing, and I don't rationalize spending money too much unless money's coming in the same thing. I got the
Right.
money in another way. But
And
I'm
you
kind
only
of
have the one
like,
level right now,
yeah,
the
just the
dollar.
one
Okay.
level $1 a month. I want everybody in there. I'd like to see 50 or 100 really core members in there, and then I can really focus it in, and like all the things I'm doing with Source Network TV, like really down the road here, it's gonna be like all focused in on the members, and
Yeah.
all my energy I put into shout outs, all my energy I put into community posts, all my energy I put into Source Network TV, all everything. Maybe even the guests. What you want to be a guest. There's so many things that I do, and then I put, like you have on the bottom of the screen. You've got a thing banner going. I put the banner on the screen with my members, and it's Deb Rael, producer number one here, and then number two is Blissfully Renee, and then number three is Journey Mirror and Blues Plate, Blue. She's got two channels. So I've produced really awesome member shout out videos for Deb and Renee together, and then a video just recently for Blue. Just I put a lot of energy and effort into that, and
I
just
and I
blast you out
just I
there.
just found her channel, the Journey Mirror channel. I hadn't found the other one, Blue Plate. I got to look it up.
Yeah,
But I just
yeah.
found her the other day, and it was like I popped in there like in the middle of her live,
Mhm.
and I listened for just a few minutes, and then I just like made a quick comment, and then it
Right.
was like she like read my comment and was like exactly, and then I started really listening to what she was saying, and I was like, oh yeah, I like her, so I went ahead and subscribed. So
Oh
um
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of like that. It has to kind of be organic for me. I just have to
Yeah.
kind of like
That's true.
feel something, and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let
Mhm.
me see what they're really saying. So yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I will definitely check her out too,
Yeah.
and I will check that out because like I said, I will make a thing and I will talk about it on my lives and kind of promote that. Um, and then by me joining yours, I'll get to see what you do with it and
I'll,
decide whether or not I want to do it. So
I'll put
yeah,
yeah.
that'll
I'll
be
have you
good.
soon, and I'll create a whole like video about you and showing your content and your personality and everything, and yeah, just everything. I mean, every video, whenever I do a live stream, I'm trying to shout out members, and I'm learning also from others that have memberships too, of trying to add in little things and fun ways to. It's not just about all this energy you're putting out there and supporting and giving back to that member. It's also where can you pull away from everybody else and make it where, wait, why am I not getting what I was always getting? For 8 months I've been getting this love and
Right.
awesomeness guy, and now it's like, what's happening here? And then you see it's pooling into these four people, or whatever. It's like, yeah, so it'll
Well, and
start to shift.
I used to just do a lot of shout outs. And then I got to thinking, I need to put my energy in the people who are commenting on my videos or coming to my live streams and shout them out more so
Yeah,
than just new channels that I'm meeting. And not that I wouldn't shout somebody out who doesn't come, but it's like the ones that do come, I definitely want to focus on that. There's Star, my newest member, I think, is
yeah.
Star or Austin. They might be tied. Um, but yeah,
Cindy.
so I totally get that. That, it's like you're giving it away for free. You might as well
Yeah,
be building that community that will grow, you know. So yeah,
yep,
I understand that. I
yeah.
get that.
And you got that stickers and all that access all built into YouTube. I just build it on the side for now, and we'll just see where it goes. Like, I also like Fourth Wall. I saw Surviving Together has a Fourth Wall shop, and they offer memberships too. So maybe I'll get into that.
Fourth wall. I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
Spelled fourth, like the number four, and then
Uh-huh.
th, number four, FOURTH, wall, WALL. It's got a store and I saw Magic of Healing Jimena has a really nice little store in the fourth wall. And then Surviving Together Sass, Max got a fourth wall store. So, and they got memberships too. So I don't know. I just never know where it'll go.
Yeah, I want to check that out. Hi, Retro. I have because I had the 500 and 3,000 thing, I could do the store connected, here on YouTube. So I have two different ones connected, but I need to go in there and redo all my merchandise now because I did it all very generically because I didn't really know anything about how to do any of that, and now that I actually have a channel icon, my butterfly, it's like I want to redo things so that it's
Yeah.
more personalized, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Hello, Olivia, welcome. And so that's like I keep saying, as soon as this school year is done and I
Right.
don't have to be the daycare anymore, then I will definitely have time to do a lot more with my membership and with the store and, all of that and be able to really put my time into YouTube and do it how I really want to do it. I've been doing it really part time for all this time that I've been caring for my granddaughter. So I'm so excited about actually having time where I can, you know, get things done without having to just quick get it done here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to
Mm-hmm.
actually take the time that I want to spend to do things. And I love the Suno app and writing the music and the songs, but I get lost when I go in there. I can't do it just one time and be done. I have to do like 20 times because then I change the music or I
Yeah.
don't like a certain lyric and I want to tweak that or whatever. And you
Did
know,
did you doing the paid version of it to
yeah,
because do
yeah.
that? And I saw Book has used a different one, and she's making great music too. But I haven't wanted to pay for any of that yet, so I'm just putting that aside for now. So yeah,
Well, and I paid for it one month, and I don't think I even went in there at all because my time was just so limited. But I went, like I said, when I do go in there, I want to be able to do as many because I think you get
yeah,
2,500 credits, and it takes 2 credits a song, so that's like what 1,250 songs you can write in a month.
yeah.
Um, so I want to be able to have that, to do that at my leisure, when I want to do it and how I want to do it. Because the copyright thing is real, and once
Yeah.
you're monetized, you do
Yeah.
not want to take the chance of getting
Mm,
copyrighted. And I don't like just having to use the kind of generic music that YouTube, approves for us to use.
Mary, do a fourth wall link. I think she wants to get a little commission. Use
Oh, okay, Mary.
Use her
I'll
link,
look
huh?
at it. I sure will. I helped Mary get her watch hours.
Oh,
I
nice.
had just met her and she was talking about needing watch hours. I was like, I got that. I can do that.
Oh,
And
you're
boy, I watched the heck out of her stuff. And then I think she got annoyed, not annoyed, but you know, why Echo just keeps watching it and keeps sending me messages about it.
uh,
It's like, hey, you said you wanted watch hours. I'm going to give them to you. But
boom. All righty. Cool.
it
Howdy.
definitely. Oh, hi, Body Illusion. Hey. All right, we're going to get off of here so he can actually probably have some dinner. I know he was on all that time this afternoon and now on now, so he needs a break.
That's
But
right.
again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I will
Thank you.
definitely be over there to your Patreon and we'll see what we can do.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good. All
Y'all,
right.
Echo.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Oh, aloha.